Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Local Survival here, back with another video. So, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a vanilla server in Minecraft 1.15.2 since the new version just came out a couple days ago. So, let's get right into the video. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to come to this website. It'll be one of the links down below. It should look like that. So, the first thing that you're going to want to do is there's going to be this little what do you call it, like link right here that says download Minecraft server 1.15.2.jar. So what you're gonna want to do is click on that, and then it'll download. If you're using Chrome, click keep down here, and then if you're using Firefox, it should just show up in the middle. And then you guys will not have the little 16 right there. If this is your first time making a server. If this is your first time making a server, it'll just be server.jar. Okay, so then what you're gonna want to do is, if it's already not on your desktop, you're gonna want to minimize your browser like this, and then you want to drag it out onto your desktop. And then you can also just do go into your downloads folder here, and yeah, so you can also just go into your downloads folder. It should be in there to look for server.jar. And yeah, so the next thing you're going to want to do is right click on your desktop anywhere that's not on a file, like anything over here or a program. I want to do new folder, and now you can title this whatever you want. In this case, we're just going to title it 1.15.2 example server. Alright, so now that you have that, you're going to want to take the server.jar, and you're going to want to, actually, let me just rename this real quick to, so that you guys don't get confused, to just server.jar. So it should just look like that right there. Just server.jar. Not no 16, no number in parentheses, if that is your first time making a server. So then what you're going to want to do is drag it into the folder right here, the folder that you just created of whatever you named it. You're going to double click on it, and it should just be the server.jar in here, just like that. So the next thing you want to do, so now we're going to be adding RAM to the server. This is what allows your server to run properly, and this is pretty much like what allows your server to run. And the more that it's added, the better it will run. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to right click in the file, go to new, and then you're going to want to go all the way down to the second to last one and do text document. So now you don't have to name it anything or anything like that. So you want to double click on it, and it should just pop up with an empty text document like this. So down in the description there will be these codes right here for 2 gigabytes, 3 gigabytes, and 4 gigabytes of RAM that you have to add to your server. So the first thing you're going to want to do is probably check how much RAM your computer has. So I'm using a laptop and I have 8 gigabytes of RAM. So if you're using a desktop and you built it yourself, then you should know. If you bought it, then you can probably just check in My Computer or something like that. So yeah, so first check how much gigabytes of RAM you have. But then for this example, I'm just gonna do 2 gigabytes. But you're probably, if you're gonna be playing with a lot of friends, you're probably gonna want to do 3 to 4 gigabytes of RAM. But for the example here, I'm just gonna do 2 gigabytes. So now do not copy the 2 gigabyte server : just copy the code right here from Java to pause. So I just want to do Control C, and then you're gonna want to come back over to your text document here, and then just paste that in. Alright. Now you're not done yet. You want to go up to File, and then do not click Save. Okay, you want to do Save As or Control Shift S. Okay, I'd recommend that you do File and then Save As though. So you want to click Save As, and then you want to do file name run.bat. Now you can substitute really anything for run. It can be like server start.bat. In my case, I'm using run.bat. So yeah, so you can really just name anything. You can really just replace anything you want with run, but that's in your opinion. So whatever you want, you can put there, but it has to end in .bat, or else this will not work. So now you're not done yet. Do not click the save button. If you click it, it's not going to work. Okay. The last thing you're gonna want to do is do save as type, and instead of text documents, you want to do all files. Alright, now you're done. Now that you have run.bat and all files in, you can click save now. And then now you can exit out of that. And then you should have a new thing here called run.bat, or whatever you named run. So now you can delete the new text document. You will not be needing it anymore. So now you're going to want to double click on run.bat, and it should start up like this. It should bring up the CMD, and now you should get an error here that says press any key to continue. And you're going to be like, wait, why'd that happen? Is there a problem? What's going on? You might freak out a little bit. It's okay. Just click whatever key on your keyboard you want. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Just click any key on your keyboard, and then you should notice some new things in your folder here. You should notice logs, EULA, and server, or server.properties. So it could be, for some of you, it could just be EULA and server. For me, I have extensions on for like the full thing. So for me, it's EULA.text and EULA, or server.properties. So if it just says EULA and server for you, that's perfectly fine. It's the same exact thing. So now you're going to want to double click on EULA, and then it's going to say some things here. So it should say like blah 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 blah, whatever. You can copy the link here if you want, and just like that. And if you want to, you can come into here, into your browser, and just do that. And then this is EULA stands for End User License Agreement. So this is pretty much just like agreeing, like if something asks you to agree to what do you call it, like to their rules and stuff like that, and you click accept. That's pretty much what this is. So if you want to read this, you can. I don't really care if you do or not, but this will just kind of be some of the things that you might want to read. But anyways, so it should say, the last thing should say false, and you want to just do true. And now do not put a space in front of the equal sign and true. Do not have it like that. Have it like this, where they're both connected together like that. So now you just want to click save like that, and then you can exit out. So now you can run your server again, and then you should be a-okay. If this is not working, then you're going to have to, if you do not have this running, there will be a link down in the description, and you have to download the JDK/SE binary Java. So if you not have that already, then you have to download that. If you already have that and it's still not working, there will be another link down below called Jarfix. And if you downloaded the JDK and you tried it again and everything, it's not working, you say like, wait, why isn't this working? Then you're just going to download the Jarfix and follow the instructions and stuff, and that should fix it. If not, then you might want to seek further instructions, because from there I do not really know what to do. But so if everything is working okay, it should say done, just like that. So once it says done, then do not exit out of this. This is your server. While your server is running, this is your server. Okay, this right here is your server. Okay, so if you exit out of it, the server will go down. Okay, and then to stop your server, just so you know, don't do this yet, but stop. Actually, yeah, you can stop your server. So just do stop in the into the what do you call it, CMD, and just click enter. Let it run the commands, and then press any key to continue, and just press that. So now you should have this, and now you're not done yet. Okay, if you want people to, if you're just trying to have people join your server, just like around your house or whatever, like if let's say like you have a friend or a sibling or something, and they're trying to join you're trying to just play together and you're in the same house, then all you need to do is come down here, type in CMD, and do that. Now this should pop up, and you want to type in ipconfig, ipconfig, okay? You just want to click enter, and then right here it says IPv4 address. You just want to copy that, highlight it, and then do Control-C, come back to your folder over here, and go into, in my case, server.properties, but for you it might say just server. So you want to go into your server/server.properties file, whichever one it is for you, and you want to find this right here that says server IP. You just want to Control-V that into there, and make sure there's no space between the equal sign and the numbers here. Okay, so make sure it's not like that, make sure it's like this. So then you just want to do File, Save, and you can exit out of that. So now if you're trying to just have like your friend or something, or your sibling or whoever you're trying to play with, and they're in your house, then you're done, and they're on the same Wi-Fi as you and everything, then you're done. You don't have to connect. You can click off the video now and you're done. But let's say you're trying to play with your friend that's in another state, down the street, in another country. You're going to want to get your default gateway, which is right here. And it might be I forgot to say this before, but the IPv4 address and the default gateway might be completely different from what you're seeing on my screen. For you, it could be completely different, and that's fine. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is copy your default gateway, so Control-C, and you want to come into your browser over here. For me, I'm using Chrome. For you, it might be Firefox or whatever browser you're using. You want to open a new tab just like this, a fresh tab, and I'm going to do Control-V, and just paste it in and click enter. And now for me, I have Fios by Verizon. You might have a completely different router. Okay, you may have I don't know, like Optimum, or what else, Xfinity. You might have something else. You might have not as a popular brand. You might have a completely different brand. But in my case, I have Fios by Verizon. Now I would recommend looking up a video on how to port forward your router. But to log into your router here, you're going to need your username and your password. And now you might be like, well, where do I find this? What you need to do is you need to go over to your router where your Wi-Fi box, if you don't know what a router is, where your Wi-Fi box is, and there should be like a little sticker somewhere on it, on the bottom, on the side, in the back, or whatever, that just says to access your router or something like that, and it gives you the username and password. And now you might want to write that down, or if you have a good memory, remember it and put it in. So I'm just gonna put mine in here, and there. So now once you do that, you should be able to go in, and you should see some really confusing stuff like this, and that's okay. The only thing that you're going to need to know is port forwarding. Now this might be in a lot of different things. It might be in, I think it can be in a tab called like gaming or something like that. But you might just want to look up how to port forward for whatever brand router you have. So for my case, which I'm not going to be doing, but you might want to look up a guide, how to port forward in Fios by Verizon, or just Fios router. And once you find how to port forward, you want to click on that, and now it's going to be, in my case, you have to select the device that I'm on. And so mine is right here, Laptop Tech 8S1H6. So I'm gonna click on that. It could be completely different for you. Okay, you might not even have this option. Yours could be a completely different name if you have the same as me. But then the next thing you're gonna want to do is you want to come over to Application to Forward, and it might be in my case, I'm going to do custom ports, but it could be TCP/UDP, it could be both, it could be custom ports. Whatever it is, you just want to click both, or TCP/UDP, or if you have the option for both, or whatever your router is. Okay, so then you want to come over to the port here, and if you have two boxes, which in my case I don't, you're going to want to put in 25565 for whatever box you have. Okay, if you have two boxes, put 25565 in both boxes. If you have one, put it in that. Okay. If you have any box that you have to enter, put in 25565 for the ports. Okay. I will not be putting in the I will not be putting in a the port now, because I already have it added down here, right here, 25565. But when you're done, once you have all this set up, you just want to click add or continue or accept or whatever you have, and then you might have to save after as well. In my case, I do not have to save, but you may have to save your whatever you did in your router. Okay. So once you're added the port, then you can exit out of there. So now you can go back. You will not be, actually, you might need your IPv4. You will need your IPv4 address to connect if you are trying to if you are trying to connect to someone in your house, or like if your friend is trying to connect or whatever, you're going to need the person's going to need your IPv4 address. So what you're going to want to do is come over here, double click on your 1.bat to run your server. You can either X out of this or minimize it, doesn't really matter. Actually, I probably should have kept it open. But so, opened it. Oh, I don't know what I did. Oh, okay, there we go. Alright, so as long as you have your IPv4 address copied, you can now close that. You'll not be needing it anymore. So in here, so now it says done. Your server is now running. Okay, that means your server is up. So now if you just load up Minecraft like I have here, and then I click refresh, I already have it added down here, but for the sake of the video, I will show you. So if you're trying to just connect to someone in your house, you can either do add server or direct connect. In my case, I would be doing direct connect. Oh, and then right here is our server name, www.locosurvival.us.to. The server will be live in sometime in February. Okay, it will be a 24-hour server, and yeah. But what you're gonna want to do is, if you're trying to connect to someone in your house, you want to take your IPv4 address that you got and you want to paste it in here, and you just want to click join server, and then it should say connecting, encrypting, joining world, and now you're in. So now all that, you're in, and we spawn right next to a village. Alright, if you want the seed of this world, I don't know, actually, now if you guys wanted the seed of the world, I did /seed, and it might be, oh no, I can't do it. Why is that? So what you're going to want to do to give yourself commands and stuff, you're about to come over to your server right here, and you want to put OP space and then your username. So in my case, it's loco151, and then it should say made loco151 a server operator, and then it'll say that for you in the chat right here as well. So now if you guys wanted the seed, /seed, and now you have it. So if you guys want to play on this world, has a village right here, but that's not the main purpose of this video right now. So let's say you wanted to give it to someone else. So let's say, like, I don't know, someone random was in the game. You could do OP and then just like whatever their name is. So like if it was just like, I don't know, Wolf, I don't know why Wolf, but if you wanted to do OP Wolf, then you could do OP Wolf, and that would, and if that's their username, then that would give them operation commands. If you do not give it to them, they cannot do like /seed or what do you call it, like game mode creative, for example. That's how you change game modes and stuff. So yeah, now let's say you want to not be able to do that, or you don't want someone to be able to do it. You could do either, you could also do this in the game as well. So I'll do it in the game here, but you can also do it in the command in your server over here. But what you can do is you can do /DOP, all one word, and then the whatever the person's username / gamer tag is, and then it'll say made loco151 no longer a server operator. So yeah, that's if, no, this is if you're trying to play with someone in your in your house. Now let's say you wanted to play with your friend down the street, like that's or in another state or across the in another country, across the world, whatever it is. You're going to want to do over here, and then you're going to want to go to the link down below, and it'll be a link on a website that you can use to find your IP address. Now you could either use the website, or you could also just go into Google and type in what's my IP address. Now you do not want your IPv4 address, you just want IP address. Now I should note that the IP address, you do not want to give it away to anybody that you do not know or trust. If you give it away to someone that you do not know, they can use it and they can find you and they can find your address and all your information and all that. So only give this to people that you know and you trust, or you could find a website that I found that was kind of sketchy, but it worked out in the end, of how to make your IP into a domain. So you can give them like a link. So for example, mine is www.locosurvival.us.to. Now that, so you can give them that, and then they can't find you instead of so if you give them the numbers, pretty much they can find you and they can track you and stuff. So that's why you only give the numbers to people that you trust. But if you're trying to give it, that's I do not recommend doing like the link, making it into a domain, if you're trying to just play with friends and stuff. If you're trying to make your server public, then you can type in like you can find like a free domain site or whatever, and you can make your IP address into a domain. So you can give them the link, and as you can see, it'll join just the same. See, same world, same everything. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and then one more thing. If you're trying to just test to see if your server is just like working, only the person that's running the server can do this. You can just, now this may not work all the time, but you can do localhost, or all one word, and all one word localhost, and you can click join server, and this may not work all the time. Now you will most likely get this error right here. That's okay. But that's pretty much it. So yeah, so remember, you need your IPv4 address for if you're just trying to play with someone in your house, like a sibling or a friend or something like that. But if you're trying to play with someone down the street, in another country, another state, whatever, you're going to need to do the port forward thing, which we did when we put in our default gateway and everything. Sorry about that. And then, so you're gonna want to do all that, and so you have to port forward pretty much to be able to play with your friends that are not in your house. Okay. If you do not need to port forward if you're just playing with people inside your house and you not plan on doing it with people outside of your house and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. It was kind of a long video, I can understand that, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this helped out a lot. I am open to questions if you guys have any down in the comments below, but hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.